Hello Commanders, Commander Plater here back with another Elite Dangerous video, and today we got a 7.5 station walk-around video from the upcoming Odyssey update, and we are going to be doing a breakdown with some opinions thrown in. Usual pre-qualifier here, this is all labelled as pre-alpha development footage, so things are subject to change and polish. I'm going to be carving the video up and slowing bits down, so if this is your first watch then I really recommend you watching it in full somewhere else beforehand. The scene opens up onto the concourse of a station interior. We turn to the right and immediately go up some stairs. Note there is no crazy ragdolling here. We can hear station announcements in the background with what sounds to be like advertisements for ships, in particular the Type 9 Heavy, which can apparently take the load. Oh my. The station we are in is Bradfield Orbital in the Ovid system. At the top of the stairs we are greeted by bright, vibrant, hollow adverts for ships. Directly ahead of us is Apex Interstellar Transport. There is also an NPC named Juliet Lancaster standing on the bridge. She is labelled as a mission provider. Now the NPC talks to us and they have a mission available. I'm going to have to call out the animation here as the mouth movements look pretty poor. The lips aren't synced and the mouth movements look really unnatural. The NPC's face, however, doesn't look like the portraits we're used to. In fact, throughout this video, all NPC portraits do look to be improved. We pass by Apex Interstellar, where an NPC is busily typing away on the computer screen. Just as we get to the Pioneer store, we get sidetracked by another NPC mission provider. This time we stop and talk, and the facial animations are considerably better than the first NPC. This type of inconsistency is always a concern, especially in a promo video. Everything should be your best. We get a look at the mission offered, and this is a covert infiltration type mission. We got the options to ask what the job involves or flat decline at this point. We ask what the job involves and find out we need to upload data and that it's a covert assignment, so no alarms or a mission failure. The location of the mission is also specified, and the mission is also listed as having a threat level of 6 and is dangerous. We decline the mission and we move on. The NPC has some speech at the end of the interaction. The voice acting here is actually quite good, and the face of the NPCs look to be the same kind of quality as the current holomes we have for our characters. The question is, how much variety will we get within different stations, and will the same NPC be present at the station at all times? We head into Pioneer Solutions. This is a store where you're going to be able to purchase player equipment, weapons and armour. There is also shelving which is stocked with items we've seen in previous mission playthroughs, such as medpacks, ammunition, weapons, armour, and a couple of unknown items. The shelves do look a little bit bare in places, and some items look to be under-detailed. Blank boxes here and there which can't be identified, but there has been some effort to make sure the store looks lived in, but it feels a little bare bones at points, and to be honest I would like to see some more window dressing. Leaving the store, we can see Vista Genomics across the concourse. This is of course the area where you can sell your genetic samples that you've been out collecting on planets. There are a number of NPCs moving around the station, and the walking animation does have a few hiccups here and there, but it is difficult to name a game where there isn't some slide when character models move around. The NPCs seem to be getting on with their daily activities, like walking around, hanging out, having a drink, visiting the shop, sitting around reading, or standing there talking. Now how much they move around does remain to be seen, we don't get much from that in this video, but hopefully they'll be more active and will be also dependent on BGS. Once we move through the bar area, we get that view, and what a view it is! You can see the dock entrance and the landing pads towards the front of the station. Now we already know we can see ships in real time from the observation area, but the real question is, will we be seeing people from our ships moving around in real time? Honestly, I'm hopeful for a yes answer there. As we walk through and approach the bar, we get offered a morally dubious opportunity by an NPC. A theft mission type, again with the purpose of heading to a settlement and getting something. I have to comment on the idle animations here, as the NPC is a little bit too twitchy, moving around a bit too much, they seem agitated. And yeah, sure, you could say that it's a dodgy mission, so maybe they would be like that, but it seems too animated for my tastes. Kind of to the point where, if someone acted like that in real life, you might avoid them because they make you feel uncomfortable. Again, we go into the details of the mission, and this one is Threat Zero Defenseless. From this we can assume that it's a sample from an inactive settlement or structure. Unlike the previous mission, we take a look at the pay. 3 rewards are available to be selected: Financial Boost, Titanium Plating, and Influence. The real interesting one here is the Titanium Plating, as this has the engineer symbol, indicating it's one of the new engineering materials for the weapons and suits. The important option below the rewards is I want to discuss payment. From here you are given 3 different options with varying degrees of politeness. The ruder, the less likely you are to succeed in negotiations, and your chances of success are tied to your mercenary rank in this case. This looks to be one of the new ranks being introduced in Odyssey. There is also a critical failure risk involved, and what exactly does that mean? Well, quick assumption time. Critical failure probably means that the mission will be withdrawn altogether. We succeed in the negotiation and are offered an extra monetary reward. Now, these numbers aren't final for the mission rewards, but if it's close to what we get, then it looks good to me. From here we accept the mission and move over to the bartender. The bartender offers trade, in 3 different sections: chemicals, circuits, and tech. The way the menu reads is that these have individual capacities similar to engineering materials and horizons. We don't get much of a look at the menu, but it also looks like you can trade chemicals for other chemicals, not just buy and sell them. This is a bit of a speculation, and it's based purely on what we see over a couple of seconds. As we leave the bar, you can overhear NPC conversations. Next up, we head over to Inter Astra, the in-station shipyard. The animation of the NPC here has a visible tick and a visual stutter as an interaction is triggered. Once we go in the menu, we get to see the ships we already own on the right hand side and purchasable ships on the left. Bottom left has the option to manage your ships, but shows that we have 0, despite the fact we already own ships on the right hand side. This isn't particularly clear, but this does only apply to local ships only. In the ship purchase menu, we can see ships are split up by manufacturer. This menu needs to be introduced to in-ship based gameplay, or the difference is going to be really jarring. This is also a big step back from the fleet carrier UI that looked from a really console favoured design. We purchase a Dolphin and then we head out to leave the store. I do like the look of the Cobra hologram on the way out, and it was an FDL on the way in, and the ambient noise from the station does feel quite right. The station announcements also seem pretty spot on, with some federal propaganda going on in the background. Heading down the stairs, we head to a terminal which looks like a very missable kind of experience. Nothing is labelled, and to be honest it looks very unfinished. Once being used, we get greeted with a menu that now looks pretty similar to the fleet carrier one, showing the mission boards, authorities, Hollow Me, and Arc Store, not to mention a place to edit your loadout. Heading into the mission board, we can see that mission givers across the top have their faction affiliation indicated. The missions are divided by type, with combat, transportation, procurement, operations, salvage, and a final type we can't see because they don't scroll down quite far enough. We pick up a recovery mission, and the target is Asta's Hope 2 in the Ovid system. This is a settlement that has been featured in promo materials previously. Now, note here there is no option to negotiate rewards on this board, and looks like that can only be done with NPCs in the station. Once finished at the board, we head over to the lifts at the entrance to the concourse, where you can select the hangar you want to go to. There is only one listed in the video, but I imagine if you were in a wing, then you would have the option to go to your wingmate ships if they were docked there for physical multi-crew. There's lift music. Yes, actual lift music. Now, the lift ride itself seems very short, which for me, it works, as one of my main concerns with Odyssey was that you just have to waste time walking around from place to place. Once we arrive at the hangar, we start to head towards the ship. The lighting changes dramatically, and this does look to be automated lighting coming on, but it's not very clear where the lighting is changing from, which light sources. Heading over to the ship, you get a real sense of scale for the Dolphin, and honestly, it feels smaller than I thought it would. So seeing a Sidewinder in person might actually be a bit of a shock. There is one thing that really stands out here, and that's the entry marker for the ship. the blue hollow circle on the ground. This feels totally out of place and really basic compared to the rest of Elite Dangerous. The transition to the cockpit looks exactly how we were told it would, fade to black and in, and to be honest, I don't like it. I think it looks low quality, and I hope this is addressed in a later update. As for the rest of the video, we see the Dolphin leave the station and everything looks very much like it does in today's game. So with that, I think we have quite a good idea what station interiors will be like now, and there is certainly some polish needed in places, as it feels almost right but then empty and unfinished in others. But it does look quite playable. So I'm going to throw it over to you commanders. Did I miss anything? What stood out to you? Leave me a comment and let me know. And once again, thank you for watching. Please make sure you do like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you get an alert every time I put a new video out. But once again, thank you for watching. Commander Plater, out.